Hello and welcome to Turn Zero Loss, hosted by the Magic Engineers. I'm David, and I'm not going to be a Magic Engineer after this episode because this was my bad idea. So, Pandora's box has been opened. We'll never close it, and there is no hope. So, with that said,
Magic is dead.
Magic is dead. So let's see what else we can add to it. So, this episode is about us and universes beyond. And we could go on for another 30 minutes about why we hate it. And I'm sure we'll go off a little bit about why we hate it. But we want to milk as much good out of the situation as we can. So we've each come up with a few IPs that we think could actually translate to Magic fairly well, or at the very least are the least offensive possible option. So I think it's appropriate that Sherry starts because I'm not starting this.
Yours is the most complicated from what I can see.
A little bit.
Okay, so hear me out. I am a very big fan of the Nier franchise and / Drakengard, its originator series. And the only reason I would want them in Universes Beyond is because that would mean Yoko Taro would be involved. Yoko Taro does not put out bad products. He would be basically have a personal hand in literally like every Magic card because he's an artur. That's the reason why I believe that he could, like, if it could work at all, he would make it work.
So you're saying that the cards would be canon?
Yes,
I was just about to say that. Do you think you could add to the lore with the cards? He definitely would.
Oh, he not only would, but it would be like he'd also sell like a novelization based on one of the cards, and then write a screenplay about the other 46 cards, and then also add a anime series based off of 3 cards. Because the man's insane.
And then eventually he'll make a sequel to Nier Automata, right?
Yes.
That's okay.
It's a complex series. Like there's I don't know how many like legendary creatures you can get out of that. So like that's fine. There's plenty of like no name creatures that you could definitely just have be like, a common or uncommon. And then a few that it would be pretty well at rare mythic.
Yeah, you got your 2Bs, your 8-2s, your brother Niers, father Niers, your world enders.
Can we get a Planeswalker Emil?
Yes, we get a Planeswalker Emil, of course. He's the one that's most appropriate for, and also like 75 individual creatures that are also just basically Emil. And that Black Lotus would get reprinted because one of the main villains in the entire Nier Drakengard series is actually a giant black flower. So that's our Black Lotus reprint.
Go. Perfect opportunity for it. Yoko Taro would call it. And then like all the equipment and stuff would be pretty convertible into straight up equipment cards.
Yeah. There's something there. There's things to be done. Like
it'd be mainly either be like a decent set of commander decks if they're gonna do that are mainly focused around artifacts.
That is correct.
Probably.
Because everyone's an artifact.
Yeah.
Sorry, spoilers.
Spoilers.
Well, it depends on which timeline you're in. There's 700 different timelines.
Spoilers again. There's multiple timelines.
And there are multiple timelines off those multiple timelines that sometimes intersect.
Yeah. It's a great time.
Okay. Now that I've said the most controversial one. Eli. I'm not sure how I feel about yours.
I know how I feel about yours.
Oh, it's okay to hate mine. That's completely fine.
Okay, because I do.
So the first one I think is probably the one that would be least hated. I hope, but it would be Zelda.
You just made the greatest selling Magic set of all time.
Yeah, it's seriously like the hype for Zelda is super high right now. Like coming out of Tears of the Kingdom and everything, this would be like the time to capitalize on that if they were going to do it. But there's so much lore behind Zelda, and there's so much expansive like material that they could draw from. They could literally make multiple versions of Zelda and Link if they really wanted to, because like they did that in Lord of the Rings. Like, be like, here's the hero of time, Link. Here's the hero of the wild. Here's the hero, blah 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 blah. You know, like they could definitely make a full set out of this because there's lots of monsters in Zelda. There's lots of equipment, lots of creatures, bad guys, good
Koroks to
guys,
crucify.
tons of Koroks. You could totally crucify them. Um,
I better be a
I
card.
I don't know. I think it would be like an actually fun set to have. Like I'm as a fan of the Zelda series, I would like that actually. Don't like Universes Beyond, like I've said before, but this would be kind of an inoffensive way to do it if I were to see it.
All right, that's interesting. So I'll give out mine right now, and this is the only one I actually want to see as a Universes Beyond set. Not to the point of just like tolerating it, but actually I would genuinely buy this product if it were to
Okay.
happen. And that is Discworld. So for those that aren't aware, there's a lot of overlap in these audiences, so maybe you are aware. But if you're not aware of it, the Discworld is a setting by Sir Terry Pratchett, featuring a flat planet carried by 4 elephants standing on the back of a gigantic space turtle with an unknown sex. And it's essentially a parody slash deconstruction of the classic fantasy genre or heroic fantasy or really any fantasy in general. And it's this really wide setting where you can do a lot of things. Like there's an incompetent wizard who's just kind of wandering around doing stuff. There are several books that follow the City Watch of Ankh-Morpork, which tend to be closer to the mystery genre. There's several witches that also lend themselves well to closer to like Macbeth or that kind of style. And there's also a fair number of stories that feature death itself, going around and doing stuff.
Nice.
And they are really fascinating and fun books. And I think the way to translate something like that would be in the style of an Unset, because they're very tongue-in-cheek. They're very loosely based around playing with the ideas of traditional fantasy. And you have a big, wide, there's like at least 25 books that exist out there. So you have a lot of material you can pull from to kind of give the shape of this world. And it's just a really fun series to go through, and I think it would translate really well to Magic.
This sounds like Flatland high fantasy.
I'm still trying to get my head around the tiers of these things. The flat planet on the back.
Flat planet on top of 4 elephants on the back of a space turtle.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fucking wild. I need to read these.
You read these. They're great books. I love almost all of them. There's a few that I would recommend. The first one is The Color of Magic, which follows the wizard. But there's also like Mord is a pretty classic one. That one's all about death and like how you really learn about what he does. There's a few others I like. I really like Hogfather as well, and Night Watch. Those are the 4 I would recommend.
Are they all like separated? So like you don't need to read one to know what happens in another?
Yeah, they're pretty standalone. So you can kind of read them in whatever order you like.
Okay.
But they are in roughly chronological order. So, but there's not much continuity there.
Interesting. I would like to see that just because I have a hard time conceptualizing this right now. I would like to add one to my list that I just came up with in my head.
Sure.
Have at it.
Okay.
Dune.
Okay. I hear you.
That's my simple answer. Dune. The way that
Nice.
is set up in this almost like kind of like this hilarious like scheming interwoven things. Like I basically picture as almost like Game of Thrones, but in space. And because of like all this treachery and all this, and there's a lot of like different planes, worlds intersecting, all obsessing about like these like 1 or 2 ideas. Like I like the themes. There's a lot of like thematic cohesion. and it would be an interesting like kind of like desert plane that would be different from like an Amonkhet that's away from like Greek mythology, because it's like basing around the worms, and obviously that'd be a worm focus set, which we would be all game for. We are pro worm.
Yeah, I support. I here as your fellow worm enthusiast support worm based sets.
Real worm hours.
So I am absolutely cool with a Shai Hulud showing up.
Yeah, and also like the characters are incredible, like the God King, or I can't remember the God. I'm Paul Atreides, his father. All I'm the spice that can be a cool artifact, or enchantment, whatever you want to choose to believe that is. I just
Sherry, I'm curious. How much have you read Dune?
I have
at
not
all?
read
Have you?
Dune, but I watch a lot of the lore videos because the world intrigues me so much. It's so cool.
Okay.
I need to read them.
Isn't it like there's two ways you could read Dune? You could read the original series by the like original author, or you could read the bastardized version by his son.
Me, I feel like neither are honestly the best way to experience it, because the original book is kind of racist.
Okay.
It's not really. I don't know. Like, there's a lot of Mediterranean influence that Dune takes from, but it doesn't like it's not exactly flattering.
Gotcha.
Say it that way. Not fully. And yeah, the bastardized version, like I haven't read that, but I understand it's not particularly strong there either. So I would actually recommend the recent 2021 movie if you want to learn at least most about the
That
first
is
book.
a very good
Okay.
movie.
It's
Yeah.
a great movie.
will
And
have
the
to-
second one is going to also have parts of Messiah, which is the second. So
Okay.
I feel like that world and that kind of idea of like a world with basically a singular resource has not quite ever been explored. It'd be sort of like a mana devoid world that they could explore.
I mean, didn't Kaladesh have Ethereum though? Like, wasn't that kind of the
Yeah,
same
they
thing?
had their energy, like the energy counters theme, and like the aether, like their aether liquid. But I like the idea of like something that's like truly like almost like a devoid set, like not in the way that the Zendikar would be, because literally the only resource is the spice, and it would be kind of based around how you try to like make the spice, what characters are involved, the interplanetary politics that have to come in with this world that shouldn't really exist, but is there simply because the spice exists on that world. I just think there's a lot there that could happen. That would be an interesting environment to magic up.
I mean, Magic already has ornithopters,
Yep.
so why not?
Yeah, might as well. My second one on the list is probably a little more controversial. I put BioShock simply because the story before BioShock Infinite came out for BioShock was actually pretty good story, and the environment was unique and could definitely be used as like a basis for a Magic set. I feel like it wouldn't have to be like a full set. It could definitely just be, again, commander decks if it just keep it small. But there's enough like in terms of characters, things that are referenced, and all sorts of just like minor things that happen throughout the games that could definitely be used for the basis of a commander deck. I don't know. I kind of like the steampunk vibes of it too. Like it's kind of like a weird, was it 60s?
No,
vibe?
it's Art Deco, so it's 20s. This is like runaway capitalism
Yeah.
vibes.
Like
This
roaring
is like
20s.
would
You're
be
right,
the cross between New Capenna and Kaladesh.
Yeah,
Except underwater.
Right. Or if you did BioShock Infinite, it'd be up in the sky, which I don't like to talk about BioShock Infinite. I didn't really like that game that much, so
You're nice to it. I don't like it at all.
yeah.
I mean, I like the themes of all of the whole thing more than I've never played BioShock, but I like understanding the themes that they wanted to talk about, regardless of whether or not the video game is actually any good.
It was of dubious quality, I will say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I'll move on to my second one then, and I know I'm going to
Wait,
get
hold
some
up,
hate
hold
for
up.
this,
He has
but I
one
also
more.
don't. Oh,
He
you have one
has
more?
one more.
No,
Oh, yeah, yours is worse. So let's let yours out of the way, so I don't have to.
Okay. All right, fine. I'll draw the ire. I I put it down because it's literally the last like anytime I think of things being introduced to Magic and like any external IPs, this is like the first thing that comes to my head now is Star Wars.
Boo.
And I know it's like a really controversial take because like nobody wants to see Luke Skywalker on a Magic card. No one wants to see that.
And the good news is you won't, because there is a Star Wars TCG coming out next year.
Oh, well, look at me.
Yeah.
Egg on my
Yeah.
face. So this is never gonna happen.
The relief.
Lucky you. You got out.
Well, can I say my meme answer before you actually give an answer that's gonna make me upset?
Yes.
Okay. It's gonna be Skyrim Magic the Gathering edition. Todd Howard is gonna sell you Skyrim again somehow.
It'll be the same
Have fun.
game, even though it's a card game.
Yeah,
Yep.
don't ask how it's going to happen. The first part of every deck is going to be, so you're awake.
Yep. Basically.
That is it's a card that's required to be at the top of your deck.
Yep.
Go ahead.
That's the format. That's the Todd Howard format. We're
The
going to call
Todd
it
Howard
that.
format.
All right. So here's the answer that's going to make Eli actually upset. And I'm a little, part of it's a joke, but also part of it has some intriguing design space. And that is JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
I disrespectfully disagree.
You're welcome to disrespectfully disagree all you want. Let me explain to you why you're wrong.
Dio would make
So-
one hell of a Magic card.
Yeah. Well, yeah. First of all, getting new art of these characters is, I have to admit, a very appealing prospect to me. So part of it's for the art, just because I want to see how different artists interpret the JoJo landscape, because I think the style of JoJo's is very distinctive and could do a lot. But I also want an aura themed set. And not just enchantments. No. Actually,
be ashamed of
I
yourself.
do. I don't feel even the slightest bit bad.
Oh my God, would all the stands be fucking aura enchantment?
They would all be enchantment auras with totem
Oh my
armor.
god.
Oh my God.
I want to explore a cursed and terrible design space, and JoJo's is the perfect way to do it.
They could do partners.
They could do
partners again.
They could do partners. That's fine too.
It'd be partner with an aura.
It'd be partners with
Or it'd be
JoJo
background.
Rakujo.
That's how they do it.
So yeah, that's probably how.
Yeah.
It'd be background enchantments that would be auras. For
Yeah.
their
Well,
characters.
when stands take damage, they reflect it onto their user. So I feel as though stands would have to be creatures, or the users would have to be planeswalkers.
Oh Jesus.
Look, if we're killing magic, let's go all the way and murder it. Okay.
Okay. All right. You know what? I'm hopping on this train. I'll further explore. Okay, so spoiler alert for JoJo's Part 3. Fucking Jotaro, the card for Jotaro, it says high school version, like original base, just with the world. If he like takes enough damage or something, he flips over, and on the backside he has Star Platinum the world with him. Yeah, he
Yeah.
did this.
All right.
Yeah.
I
How are they gonna-
did do this. This is my fault.
Echoes is gonna have level up.
Yeah.
Any of the other stands that have like parts are gonna be level up.
Yeah.
If they have what's it? Oh gosh, if they ever get Steel Ball Run animated, then
Oh god, there's gonna be a spin mechanic.
speed.
So that's my answer. It's partly a meme, but also because it's so cursed that I have to see it.
I think if that happened, I would truly be.
Magic would be dead to you at that point.
I'd be very conflicted on whether or not I would want to get it or not, because I really do like JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
I would get it. I wouldn't even think. I would just buy it. Like the second I see the announcement, I'd be going onto the Magic site being like, okay, where can I pre-order this?
I hate all of you.
Sherry, Sure. Do you have any other additional things to add?
I give an honest answer I think would be fine for a magic, and you bring me JoJo's.
Now, here's the thing. The third reason, the actual third, the real true powerful reason is I wanted to say Magic the Gathering is a JoJo reference.
Oh, God.
It never ends with you people.
No.
See, I warned you I'd get kicked out for this, and this is why. This is what I said. You're never gonna see me again.
I think you're gonna be stuck here. You can't leave now. You're
Oh,
stuck. The torture is that even though you think that magic is dead, you have to keep talking about it.
oh yeah. Okay, you know what?
It is the Hades
respect
of
that.
Magic the Gathering.
Yikes.
You coming back.
I hate that you pulled that out. All right. Well, that's mine. Those are all two of mine that I could think of. Do we have any other random ones that we thought of in the meantime that we could call out as being truly great or truly terrible?
I honestly think Hades itself, speaking of Hades, could work.
But Greek mythology is already referenced.
Yeah, but it would be a Universes Beyond secret lair, obviously.
So you're just reskinning the cards? All right.
Okay.
I guess it's
So-
fine.
That's a shrug. Again, it's one of those things. If you like it, cool, go get it. If
Exactly.
you don't, we'll talk about more about things that we don't want to see in a further episode.
Yeah. But bring me that Discworld Unsaid. That would be a lot of fun.
Yeah, because you're one of 4 people who actually know what that is.
I do not feel like I am one of
Sorry,
4 people who
14.
know that that is.
There's probably more people than that.
There's 41 books. It's been running for it ran for like 4 decades.
Yeah, that's a while. There's definitely going to be at least
People know what it is.
about.
I'm not crazy.
Okay, mister, I'm on the back of a tortoise, space tortoise.
Hey, I'm on a flat planet on the back of elephants on the back of a space tortoise. Okay, get it right.
And on that note, we're going to end our episode right here. So if you liked the video, go ahead and give us a like. Subscribe if you really want. Comment in below and say, why are you guys talking about Universes Beyond again, even though you hate it? And let
Blame
us know what
me.
you
This
think.
is my fault.
Follow us on Twitter at Lost Turn. I don't care what they call it. Still Twitter to me. And we'll see you in the next video.
Magic is dead.
Magic is dead.
Magic's dead.